Hey everybody, it's Winnie Fan and back again. How's everybody doing? Cannot believe that's already the end of August and towards the end of August, and we're going into the last quarter of the year, and I just cannot believe how fast time flies. And I hope you're getting lots of value and perhaps some new, maybe aha moments and some maybe even just something for you to think about as you journey through whether you're an entrepreneur or if you are a mom, or if you're having a job or you're running your own business or you want to start your own business, things like that. Just always reach out with any questions. I'm usually on the messenger quite a bit, or you can always post it in the Facebook group. And yeah, I read all the comments and I look at what who comes in, and I try to be friends with you. So just don't be shy. Go ahead and comment or drop me a message whenever. So today I wanted to talk to you about money blocks. I know I spoke about it, but because it's such a big topic that, and almost a point that I feel that that word is a little bit fluff, if you're not really familiar with like the whole mindset behind money. I spoke a lot about money EQ. So this is one aspect of money EQ, which is, all the internal stuff that we perceive and we, intertwine with money. Okay. So I know that this money blocks is quite a new concept for some people. Maybe some people might heard of it. It sounds interesting, but just not quite sure what it is. Just like, I teach a lot about money mindset. But what I want to talk about is actually something it's very simple. And I think all of us will have some resonance, and you can definitely relate to a lot of this money blocks that I talk about. Okay, so money blocks is really anything that holds you back from making the money that you want. So for example, if you want, your goal is to make like, $5,000, per month, but you know that you can do it, but somehow you just feel like it's just so difficult and it's almost like impossible for you to get there. Or maybe you're on your way to get there to, make that 5,000 or close to it, right? And something happens, or you feel like you just have to like, work so hard and you have to like slave yourself, and you get so burnt out, and it just feels like this whole struggle is just never a nice feeling. It's always just so hard and so difficult, and it's such a struggle, you know. Um, Surprisingly, a lot of these money blocks, right? Most people feel like it's out external forces, is what's going on around them in the environment, in society, in the world, right? In the country, the politics, everything like that. And I think right now is especially so because we're still going through a very prolonged pandemic, and I'm pretty sure all of us somehow our livelihoods or anything with our life, our finances are somewhat, to some extent, adversely affected by the pandemic. So, most people think that, oh, all these money blocks, right, are due to like, okay, right now the economy is really bad. I cannot do a business because times are tough and nobody's going to have money to buy my product or my services. It's all doom and gloom. Or another option is that another common block is that, let's say if you're running a business and you feel like I'm already like, working so hard, I put so many hours on it, I hardly have time for my family or my me time or time to relax. I'm really working so hard. How do I have more energy or time to make more money? So if that's the case, how do I have more opportunities? That's impossible. And then let's say you're also, let's say, running a business, or you're offering a service, or you're doing coaching, things like that. Like, people have this common idea that, oh, I also cannot increase my prices. There's no way I can increase my prices because of the economy, because people's livelihoods are affected. There's too much competition out there. and my clients are already currently complaining about my prices already. So how would I actually even able to, have more opportunity or more money or more abundance or more prosperity? Another one is, okay, my husband or my family members won't let me invest any money into my business, especially right now, everybody's tightening their belt. So like, okay, why would my family members or my husband let me invest more money or savings into the business? So those are quite common money blocks that people feel that is within, is beyond their control. Okay, is beyond their control. Those are factors that they cannot stop it from happening. But I have to share that in order for you to attract abundance, for you to attract more opportunities and flow and abundance into your life, okay, definitely with money and even other aspects of money like opportunities and luck, if you call it luck, right? It's actually, you have to go within yourself, right? You have to go deep within yourself to see where you are holding yourself back. Because I can tell you, all these money blocks, okay, that I kind of shared, is as much as there's certain factors that you cannot control, but I tell you, you can control how you react to it. You can control how you perceive it. You can control how you behave around it. Okay, so you do have to go deep within yourself to see what's holding you back. What's holding back from making more money? Okay, a lot of times it's old stories and beliefs that you hold dearly, that you hold true. So for example, right, like maybe back in the last financial crisis, like 2008, I'm just making it up. For example, like let's say you see a lot of people like, lose money in the stock market, or maybe personally you might have like family members or friends who went belly up in their business, or who, went bankrupt, or just met with many adversities. So even those past experiences that you see of other people, you tell yourself that, okay, that happened, so that's going to happen to me. Okay, you relate past stories and hold on to them, and you tell yourself that it is true. So this actually color your perception of your ability. It colors and destroys your perception of your ability to make money. Okay, but I can tell you, these are just all energetic blocks. This is not a fact. It doesn't mean that, okay, maybe some so-and-so who lost money or went bankrupt in a business, right, happened to them like 10 years ago or 12 years ago, it's going to happen to you. But the problem is, unless you release this block, release this energetic block, and release this discoloration in your perception, you are going to subconsciously make it true. Because, for example, if you hold on to this fear, you hold on to this belief, and let's say, you're running your business or you want to start a business, deep down inside, you're holding that so true to you, you're somehow going to be attracting that kind of situation into your life. You're going to be like, even though you're so passionate about your business, you want to do, let's say, you want to set up a shop, an e-commerce shop, for example, or if you want to, join a MLM company, whatever it is, you're going to tell yourself that, oh, this happened to that person, so I'm going to be careful. I got to be mentally prepared that that will happen to me. And chances are that's going to happen to you. Okay. I have to also kind of let you know the truth and drop a little mic drop moment, is that these blocks are actually, nobody can clear them for you. Okay. You actually have to clear them yourself. Okay. It's nobody else's responsibility but yours. But I can say that as you embrace them, like rather than, oh, that's not true, that's not happening, like you disregard it, if you actually embrace looking like, hey, I'm carrying on to these old beliefs, I'm carrying on to old stories, and you actually bring some consciousness to it and you embrace it, it actually becomes very empowering. And I have to say that women seems to have a lot of, more than men, and it happens, and I'm just telling you the truth. It's not being sexist or whatever. I mean, I'm a woman myself, but I can tell you women tend to have a lot more resistance to earning good money. You know, you don't ever have men like, oh, I'm not good enough and I'm not meant to have money and I don't know how to charge people. You know, it usually happens to women. We have a hard time setting prices or increasing prices of our services or even our products, for example. No, it happens more to us than men. We have this guilt. But the question I have is, why do women or we have a tendency to settle for less? See, the truth is that all of us, okay, all women, I can tell you, all of us, we all have access to lots of abundance, okay? I know it sounds a little bit spiritual, but the universe is always out there, you know, to bless you with a lot of abundance and opportunities. It's flowing all the time. You know, I talk about money is an energy. Abundance is also an energy. But what slows us down, okay, slows that flow is when you have big rocks and big obstacles. And those big blocks and obstacles is those money blocks, those stories that we hold on so tightly. Okay, so I talk about some money stories, some money blocks. The first one, right, that really will impede this flow of abundance or your flow of money is negative self-belief. Okay, I spoke about it here and there, but I think this is a really big one. Negative self-belief. Oh, money is so hard to come by. Money doesn't grow on trees. Money is just, you know, not for everybody to have. Okay, not everybody is lucky to be born rich or to have lots of money. You know, for example, some people will say, you know, money is meant for other people who maybe are born in rich families or they're educated or their parents are wealthy. That's why they're wealthy. Okay, then people tell themselves, I'm not destined to be rich. You know, some people say, well, since my family was poor and we struggled, you know, when I was growing up, right, I am not destined to be rich. So I won't have that chance either. Okay, that's a big negative self-belief. Like for me, was that not everybody is going to be successful in business because business is so hard. And, you know, for you to make it, you've got to be lucky. And what makes you think that you have that opportunity? And that's that belief that kind of was put onto me when I was growing up too. So nothing against my parents or my family, but I didn't quite really have that best role model. And there's nothing wrong because I think a lot of times back then, nobody really knows and you don't know what you don't know. So it's one of those things that I have to work through myself to release that negative self-belief. Yeah. The second one is guilt. Another big blockage of this money flow and abundance is guilt. So, you know, to put it in context, it's like, there's no way it's so easy to make money. If it's so easy, everybody be rich. Why do it be me? So it could be even, let's say you're doing really well in your business. You know, you're making good money. All right, even if you're not running a business, let's say you got a really good job. And I think right now is even more heightened, is even more enhanced because of the pandemic, right? You know, we have people around us that have lost jobs. You know, maybe their salary got cut. They have a hard time finding a new job. You know, we see people struggling. So if, let's say you're doing well, let's say, you know, your business is doing well, you're having a good job, you have this guilt like, oh, why is it me that I can make that money? You know, maybe I might be lucky now. Who knows what will happen later? And we have this fear that this might go away. Okay. And the guilt can come from, oh, since I'm doing well and I see other people struggling and you know, I don't want to feel bad being well off. I don't want to be feeling bad that, you know, I am doing well. So what do most people do is they give away their gifts. They give away their services, or products, or they do things for free. They give them away for free. So it reduces your guilt. It reduces you feeling bad about your success. Okay. All right, the third big money blockage, you know, blockage impeding the flow of money and abundance is negative thoughts. Okay, these are like implanted in us since we're childhood. First one is, oh, rich people are selfish. Rich people are greedy. Rich people are evil, right? I mean, sometimes we even hear like money is the root of all evil. Rich people are corrupt and they're power hungry. Money, all they know how to do is they use money as a weapon to exploit and abuse people. You know, we have this thought sometimes that, oh, you know, we are not wealthy, we are actually middle class, or we are just get by and we're noble people. Rich people are bad and money is dirty and filthy. You know, that happens quite a bit. And I think it's quite prevalent in, especially in Asian societies. You know, we don't even want to keep talking about money all the time. And then we have this stigma and label about wealthy people. We think that they're unscrupulous, they don't have integrity, you know, they're greedy, they're superficial, all those labels comes in. So because of that, deep down inside, you know, we hold on to this thought that, you know, I don't want people to hate me. I don't want to lose my friends and any of my close relationship, right? Like my family, my friends, my loved ones, I don't want to lose them. Because if I have money, maybe I might lose them. Okay. The last one is, I don't want to lose my values. Because we think that if you want to be rich, you have to be a different person. You need to drop your values and be a different person. And, you know, because that's the way it is, because that's what we relate rich people to be. You know, like for you to be rich, you have to be this and that and aggressive or whatever label we need, and we are scared to lose our values. So when we have those thoughts, guess what? You are having another big money block. Like, why would anybody want to be rich and wealthy if you hold on to such deep emotional baggage? Okay, so I speak from as a, you know, for mostly women entrepreneurs that I think you and I know. I mean, most of us here are women entrepreneurs, right? We tend to have a hard time setting our prices. You know, like for example, people are like, oh, how much is your course? How much do you charge for this? And we're like kind of skirting around. Yeah, is this okay with the price? Or even, for example, like we know we want to sell, we have a sale, you know, we have like a program or we have a product to sell. We're so afraid to ask for the sale, right? Yeah, it's like, I don't want to seem salesy. I don't want to seem like I'm hard selling. I don't want to seem like I'm aggressive, you know, or even just dealing with the, hey, can you make your payment? You know, things like that. We just feel like so awkward around it. You know, we're so afraid of that judgments that people like, yeah, I thought she's my friend, you know, why I thought she'll give me a good deal or she'll give me a discount. And why is she chasing me for a payment? You know, like she's so money hungry. Like, so all of this awkwardness and our conversations internally, it brings up a lot of fear, a lot of insecurity, anxiety about doing business or being in business, especially, you know, with people that we know. It is so just awkward. It's so much baggage, there's so much negative energy. It's so heavy, right? So with that said, right, that's why I think, you know, women, there's so many talented, smart, ambitious women. We're so talented and gifted in our own ways, but sometimes we wonder, why aren't we having that success? And sometimes all this baggage and burden is like weighing on us, that we just feel like there's no way I can ever be successful, even though I know deep down inside, I have this special gift, I have special talent, I have this passion, I want to have financial freedom, I want to have, you know, financial independence to do what I want to do and provide for my family, right? So what I'm trying to say is that I know it's not easy, even something that I've been working through, is that you have to value yourself. You know, you have to know that, hey, look, you know, you have to draw that boundary that at the end of the day, you know, asking for a sale, asking for money, asking for a business is just part and parcel of valuing who you are. Because if the person doesn't buy from you, they will pay money and buy from somebody else. And sometimes when you have the person pay for your services, pay for your time, pay for your expertise, you're actually doing them a favor. Because how many times have we given things away for free? The person doesn't have any ownership. The person doesn't feel the pinch. So guess what? They don't do anything about it. They don't utilize the gift. You know, they chunk it aside because they didn't feel that pinch. But if they were to pay for it, right, you're actually helping them because it brings accountability for them. It brings ownership and commitment for them. For example, you know, I pay for courses, the free ones. Yeah, there are times that I'm like, oh yeah, that's a free, you know, webinar or masterclass or whatever. I sign up for it and I just don't even bother opening it because I didn't pay for it. But if it's something that I paid for, I'm like, oh my, I better take this seriously because I invested in myself. I invested in it. So I do see a lot of conversations with women too, like, oh, then what happens if you know, they don't buy from me, then I don't have any customers. You got to draw that boundary. You know, people who value you, who respect what you do, they will pay for it. Okay, and that is your self-worth. Making money shouldn't make you guilty at all. Okay, it should be celebrated. It shouldn't make you guilty. When you make that money, right, it's you creating opportunities not only for yourself, but it's also being a role model to your family and to other people around you. When you have that money, it shows that you have self-respect. Okay, I mean, it is true, you know, money brings out so much emotions for people, right? Another common one too is that let's say you're okay, you know, you charge, let's say like $300 for your course, for example, right? You're not giving it for free, but you're charging people. But then a lot of times women, you know, we have this next blockage is, how do I raise my prices? Or how do I make even more? I feel bad asking for $300 already. And you want to raise your prices, but you feel like, that might be a limit. There might be a threshold to how much you can charge because, you know, once again, deep down inside, you maybe feel like, I don't think I have enough knowledge. I don't think I have enough experience. And you feel like you're stuck. Yes, a threshold, you know? So the question is, when are you ever fully ready? And when are you ever feeling enough? And charging this like $300 is your threshold, but really, is it, how much is too much? You know, that it's just all these conversations we have in our head, even after you sell your product or service. You know, the next blockage is, oh, how do I make even more? How do I smash my money ceiling? How do I go through that threshold? Okay, all this are very common blockages that we women usually have. And one more that I want to share with you. Okay, for example, sometimes we do see on social media or our friends or, you know, our Facebook or whatever, Instagram, you know, some of them are like, hey, I made this much, you know, from my launch of my course, or I have this success in my business and I made it, I paid my bills, and I took my, well, I know we cannot travel now, but I took my family for a family vacation. And, you know, they show pictures of like their successful life, right? And I think sometimes we women can be very competitive and very judgmental. So then, you know, some women be like, oh, you're such a show off. Oh, you're so superficial. You know, you just want to rub in our face that you're doing so well. Like, come on, you got to be a little more humble about it, right? Sometimes we have that kind of judgments to other women. I mean, I'm just speaking the truth. It happens, you know? So guess what? So as us, like, oh, I don't want to, you know, have like this extravagant life and and seem to be doing so well because, you know, we have this unspoken fear. We carry on this unspoken fear that, yeah, these people have this judgment about me and I feel like crap, you know? And then I don't want to deal with those people like who are so mean to me. They're nasty to me. So all this fear, right, is also holding us back from earning more. So all of this, very common, like I said. So the only way to break through our money threshold or ceiling, or to have that flow of abundance, to have that ease of that money is actually knocking at your door, and you can accept it and it will flow in nicely, freely to you, to create the wealth, the financial freedom, the financial independence that you desire. At the end of the day, it comes down to you dealing with your own fears and your own blockages. Now, it's like, it seems like there's so much work, right, involved to like, oh, make the shift. But actually, you don't have to. I mean, we all inherently already have the ability to do so. It's just that we have clouds, you know, like we are a shining star, but we have clouds that is blocking our sun, you know, blocking our light, is clouding us. We just need to remove those clouds. Okay, so you don't have to be smarter, you don't need to be smarter, you don't need to be more knowledgeable, you don't need to be more adequate and prepared, you don't need to change who you are. So this is going back to, you don't need to drop your values. Your values are your values, and they are who you are. They make up who you are and your identity. You don't need to change that. You don't need to stop your values, because that's too much to ask for. You don't need to. You don't need to be a better person. You don't need to be a more certified person, you know, knowledgeable, smarter, whatever you call it. All you need is to have an open mindset, okay? An open perspective, right? Have the willingness to examine, to bring some consciousness of your thoughts, your beliefs, and your feelings. Okay, and it takes quite a bit of practice. It definitely takes self-awareness. So for me, I work with coaches. I invested in personal training. I work with coaches to like literally hold out a mirror for me to see, because sometimes it's hard for me to see myself, right? Sometimes you just need somebody who's holding your hand to hold out the mirror and let you see, oh, wow, I have this thought, I have this belief, I'm behaving this way. Sometimes we just don't even realize it. Okay, so just be willing, be vigilant to examine. You know, this is a lifelong work. It's not something like, oh, okay, I do it, you know, I listen to one class and I'm good. You know, it is lifelong, is work in progress, right? But it's very fulfilling and it's very empowering. I can tell you that. Okay, so let's say if you know, been doing this work for like a few months and you're like, oh my God, I have not changed. I'm still having this negative thoughts. I still have these negative beliefs, and it takes time. Okay, it's been embedding this for so many years. So if it's embedded us for so many years, it takes time to release it, right? So you don't have to beat yourself up over it if you feel like you're not perfect yet, or you feel like you're still having those money blocks. It is an ongoing personal development journey. So that's all I have for you today, you know, about talking about worth, self-worth, and money blocks. So I think the main one I really want to talk about is the money block. So let me know what you gathered, what has come up for you from this sharing today. You know, what are some of your money blocks? What are some of your money stories that, you know, after listening to this, that you were like, oh, this is something that comes up. And I mean, if you feel like you're a bit shy to post it here, you can always drop me a message. You know, happy to have a conversation with you, or, you know, not conversation, but, you know, happy to hear what you have to say and how this has gone for you. I suggest maybe thinking through a little bit some of the ones that you feel like, oh yeah, you know, I tend to have this story, or I tend to have this thought, and I'm happy to hear what you have, what has come up for you, right? There's no right or wrong answer. You know, everybody is different. You know, this is not an exam like, oh, this is the right answer, this is the wrong answer. It's whatever that comes up for you at that time. And, you know, no judgments. This is absolutely a place for you to be honest with yourself, right? And no judgment at all. Yes, this is all part and parcel of learning and growing in this journey. Thank you guys, and I'll see you guys for the next live. Bye.